Okay, so let's do that now. We will stop share for a minute. Okay, so we're going to test this. Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Today I have a special guest with me. His name is Ayomiku Daniju. Ayomiku
Yes,
Daniju, is that correct?
Ayomiku Danijun, yes.
Ayomiku Daniju, yes. So now what we are looking at, we wanted to really have some, discussions about not wanted to. We are going to be having discussions about Nigeria,
Mm,
dollarization,
yes,
and all of these things. But tell the welcome on board, Ayomiku.
yes.
I'd like
Thank
you
you.
to tell the people a bit of a background about yourself, and so they can get a picture of who you are, and your where what is your area of interest in Nigeria, as it were. Thank you.
Absolutely. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to the time you're watching this live broadcast. Um, this is my first time on the official live broadcast
That's
with
fine.
a big Mongo, like, you know,
Uh,
citizen. Why it's a big pleasure, it's an honor, to be on this live broadcast. And I know this will definitely unlock a big moment in in my life in general, to like to be able to spread my voice and like put it to the world and like let people know exactly what I see and my own view of what's going on in Nigeria.
mhm, mhm.
A little background of myself. I was born and raised in Lagos Island, Isaleko to be precise, in
Okay,
Gaidugon to be precise.
interesting.
Yeah, I was born and raised over there. I lived in the mainland, I lived in the island. Then when I was like my age, kind of like my 15 years, 16 years, I
Hmm.
left. We left Lagos. I relocated to Ibadan because my dad was having like he had a farm and he was trying to like build something. So we
Okay,
relocated to Ibadan. But right from Ibadan, that was when I moved to the United States. At 2010, I got to the United States. But during the time I was in Nigeria, all the information that I was hearing about Nigeria was about what our parents say
hmm,
or what elders in the community say. But deep down in me, with the little exposure that I have about the United States and the West and other countries
hmm,
surrounding Africa,
hmm.
and other countries surrounding Nigeria as well, I noticed that something is not right. There's a fundamental thing wrong in Nigeria that is not letting the children of my age at that time react like the way the other kids of my age
Age.
at that time
Hmm. Wait.
express their views to the world.
Okay.
So I've already have that little that fruit has already been planted in me as at that time. So getting to the United States,
Hmm.
with the help of technology and
Hmm.
like internet everywhere, and like literally your phone is like your everything. Like
Hmm.
you can access like the fastest of the fastest information through your phone.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I started following like, Nigerian politics. And that was when 2011, 2012, that was when the calamity of Nigeria started like boiling to the next level.
Yes.
And I started noticing like, strange faces, strange policies. That's the number one thing. It's not even about the faces because the faces has been there. Like
Hmm.
there's different tribes that come
Exactly.
together that makes Nigeria.
Hmm.
But those
Hmm.
beautiful tribes,
Hmm.
I've started noticing like strange policies coming out of these different tribes, and they want to use those policy to govern the people
Hmm.
of 250 million people.
Hmm.
So right from there, I started like following the politics of Nigeria even hardcore to see like what exactly is going on
Yeah.
in this country. Then that those same policies and those manipulations try to like antagonize another person
Hmm.
to benefit their own gain.
Hmm.
That was what gave birth to the and the little and the first subsidy that happened during the
Hmm.
Jonathan time,
Hmm.
and everybody standing up, condemning Jonathan,
Yeah.
kicking Jonathan out of power,
Hmm.
you know, and those actions of those time that gave birth to the presidency of Buhari and Yemi Osinbajo,
That's correct.
and
Yeah.
all the promises that was made during those
Hmm.
time the faces we call fathers,
Mm-hmm.
the faces we call fathers, the promises that our fathers made to us, and they did not even fulfill those promises at
No,
all.
no.
Instead of fulfilling that promises, they made the promises even 2,000 times worse.
Okay.
So that right there, all those scenario right there, like just unlock the whole Nigeria, like on my face. Like, okay, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
It is time
Mm-hmm.
that we cannot put our faith on our fathers anymore.
No.
Some people have to start talking,
Mm-hmm.
but with the with the I would say with the battle that our honest fathers have
Mm-hmm.
fought
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like give us this opportunity to be able to speak about this big giant called Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is we saw like the dangers that people like you in your youth time. We saw the dangers that you guys went through.
Yeah.
We saw the
We
names
did.
that you were called.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing those things too coming to us too is like we kind of like make us step back, like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
if our fathers are like hardcore going into it head on,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
we can look for another way to tackle this issue.
Yeah.
That was what gave birth to the massive gatherers of Nigerian youths on
Exactly.
Twitter,
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
on this all the social media. That was what gave
Give
birth to
birth to
that.
that. Indeed.
That
Indeed.
is that we cannot. It's like we cannot face them head on,
Okay.
but we decided to like just go in a digital way
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so we can reach like more coverage. So those are all the things that actually boil me up to like started like I want to
Wanted
know
to
what this
what's
Nigeria
going
is
on.
about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Now, welcome on board again, and thanks for giving us an in-depth analysis of yourself. I
Yeah.
presume I take it you're a father as well. You got kids as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I'm a
So,
father.
like, how many? One or two? Just don't give them
One.
name.
My
Just
my
one.
first one. My first one.
Fantastic. You see, now you can have the perspective, and what I really wanted to do was that it's all well and good that people like myself and my age would be talking about Nigeria from our perspective. And
Hmm.
oftentimes we do talk about it, and I have felt that we perhaps not have not given um, credence to your generation's point of view, and I think that is probably partly down to how we were raised as well. Because you just believe in this thing of when your elders speak, the children just listen. But
Yes.
but over time, I actually think that we need to listen more. And yes, we
Right.
can guide. Our role is still to guide, but we listen more because in
Right.
listening, you'll be able to see what is really actually quite
Right.
important. There is this
Right.
saying. I love Yoruba proverbs.
Yes.
Tí ọmọdé bá ń gégi, àgbà ló
Benny.
máa mọbi tó máa wó sí.
Benny.
So that
Benny.
means that when the adults are when the kids are
Harry
cutting
me
the tree,
Plaza.
so
Yeah.
our role is to actually, now that we've done everything as parents now and sort of and our parents, our
Right.
role should really be the one of just standing back and let you guys actually begin to speak and then begin to direct that into the areas that would actually benefit us. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
So that's why
Yeah.
I thought having this kind of discussion is of
Right.
immense importance, and I'm really grateful that you've joined you've joined us live now, and we're having a discussion. Now,
Thank
what I really wanted to ask you a question is, as a youth now,
Yes.
what is the future? What would future would you like to see in that place we call Nigeria? Or even, are you even open to the idea of a Yoruba nation? If Nigeria fails, currently it's not working.
The future. Thank you very much for that question, sir. The future that I see for Nigeria is total disintegration. That's the future.
Okay.
The reason why I said a total disintegration is that we can use a little practical theory to
Yeah.
even like solve this issue.
Mm-hmm.
If you put let's say 10 lions in a cage and you didn't give them food
Yeah.
30 days, what's gonna happen to those lions?
Yeah. Mm. Interesting. Interesting. They're gonna turn on each other at some point. They will try and the
And
survival mode will kick in.
the survival of the fittest,
Yes.
and that's what's going on in Nigeria.
Mm.
So how can you break that survival of the fittest? Open the gates and let the lions be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let them roam back into the wild. Let them have fun. Let them explore.
Mm-hmm.
A lion knows how to feed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is how the entire tribe in Nigeria, the
Mm-hmm.
250 tribe in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
they are all lions. They know how to feed
Feed them.
themselves.
Exactly.
They know how to create their own wealth
Mm-hmm.
on their own terms.
Mm-hmm.
They have God Olodumare has created them with their ideas and their mindset on
Mm-hmm.
how to make their own wealth. The
Mm-hmm.
way the Igbos make their own wealth is completely different from
No.
how we, the Yorubas, make our wealth. The way the Hausas make their wealth is completely different on how the Kanaris make their own wealth.
Yeah.
Likewise, the Fulanis, the way
Mm-hmm.
they make their own wealth is
Mm-hmm.
completely different
Yeah.
from how the Idomas or the Calabaris
Mm-hmm.
make their own wealth. So,
Indeed.
with that, we're supposed to be able to explore and go make our own wealth ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the future that I foresee
Okay.
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And for Yoruba nation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a truly Yoruba born.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will take Yoruba nation over anything. My own ideology is Yoruba first.
Mm-hmm.
So Yoruba nation is a very number one big key
Yeah.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I'm gonna let my people know is that Yoruba nation cannot, if they think Yoruba nation can come in like 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, they are deceiving themselves.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will. I don't want to. Let's not go too much into that right now. We will.
Yes.
We will talk about that now. The reason, and we'll come and talk about that later, and you will see why. Because if we do, then we're going to jump over the point of what we're
Absolutely.
trying to do now.
Absolutely.
The reason why we're talking about why we actually brought this show together was you and I. We were on a show. We were on
Yeah.
Channels News, and Femi Falana was
Yes.
on, and he was talking about the state of the nation. And the central issue of what he said was that the dollar, the fact that we are using the dollar in our own economy is actually quite a wrong thing, because the constitution, the Central Bank of Nigeria's constitution, section 21 states that the only legal tender shall be the naira.
Ira.
And for as long as to even ask for oil, for payment of oil, so buying oil, bringing oil in naira, or paying for rent in naira, or paying for school fees in dollar. Sorry, to asking for anything in dollar is actually
Yes.
going against the Central Bank of Nigeria rules. And when
Yes.
that was when we started talking, and that was how we've been having discussions before, and we've had
Yes.
on my phone you've called in before, but this
Yes.
time I felt no, this is really a point that to raise. Let me just get that video to refresh the minds of people who
Yes.
who might have missed that. So
Yes.
I just want to just play that, and then just hold for a second, and I will then
Yes.
ask you a question about, we can go into that area, because that way can frame our discussion. Now let me just see if I can find that here. So where is it now? Okay, I think I may have to do one thing. Just give me a second, please. I know it's in here somewhere. Normally, if I try and do it online, it may be playing something else, and I don't want that. But I do have the video itself here, in the number of many things I've done. In the meantime, whilst we are thinking about that, what future do you see for the youth right now? I mean, in Nigeria right now, what are you hearing from people at home right now about Nigeria?
What I'm hearing about the youth in Nigeria right now is the same mentality that I thank God that I left that bubble. They channel their mind to something completely different from the reality of what's going on. with the total chaos that is going on in the country right now,
Yeah.
Nigerian youth are busy watching Big Brother Nigeria.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And my honest question is Big Brother Nigeria very important than the food
Mm.
that you're gonna eat in the
Mm.
next 3-4 hours? You don't have no
Mm.
solution to that.
No. An
But you are
interesting
watching Big Brother Nigeria.
area. Hmm.
They know everything happening in the Big Brother Nigeria. I don't even want to even mention food yet.
Hmm.
They are busy watching Big Brother Nigeria and they are swearing in criminals
Yeah, yeah.
in their Senate.
there are, yeah. That is a very, yeah. That is really difficult to really to look at in another way. I
So
guess, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Carry on.
I know Nigerian youth are capable of fantastic stuff
Mm-hmm.
because when I see Nigerian youth in the United States or in United Kingdom or
Mm-hmm.
other places,
Mm-hmm.
or even though in the same Nigeria,
Yeah,
they have potentials to be the greatest of the greatest on the planet Earth.
indeed,
Because Nigerian youths they perform wonders.
indeed.
We perform wonders,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it is sad that there's a I don't know what to call it. I don't know, maybe I should say like it's like a it's like a control mechanism
Mm-hmm.
that once they push the button,
Mm-hmm.
some set of Nigerian youths will be busy doing some completely opposite direction thing
Mm-hmm.
instead
Mm-hmm.
of staying in the reality
Reality of
fact.
fact.
And because of all these things, my judgment would be like 70-30. 70% there's faith, there's hope for
Yeah.
Nigerian youth,
Mm-hmm.
and 30% there's no hope
Hmm. Wow.
for Nigerian youth. And the reason I said 70%
Mm-hmm.
hope for
Yeah.
Nigerian youth,
Mm-hmm.
it is their God-given talent. That is why I
That's
said the 70%.
70%. Very interesting perspective. I haven't looked at it from that point of view before, and that's very informative. So that means that really our society as it currently stands is truly broken, and it's going to be
Completely
difficult
broken.
to.
It is not helping nobody. The
Mm-hmm.
God-given talent is what is pushing the Nigerian youth. Nothing more, nothing less.
Wow. Okay, now I think I've got the video. I want to just check. I think I got the video out. Okay, now let's hear clips from. It gives it from channels. Let's hear clips from what Femi Falana said, because just to give us some ideas.
Temporary measures.
Let me see. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second. I want to just make sure that you can hear it as well. In fact, yeah. 1 second. Just give me a minute. We will do it this way, and then we will go in here. Just give me a minute, please. I'm trying to make sure we get this right. Okay, so there we go. Share. So that way you can hear it. Oh, one more time. One more time. I think I need to do something.
Some of them are quite diversionary.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I can see it
The
too.
people in government have not addressed the root of the crisis, which is the dollarization of the economy.
Thank you.
Whatever palliatives that are announced will be eaten up by the dollarization of the economy. And you're not in control. As long as these guys in government are not prepared to strengthen the Naira, to make the Naira the only legal tender in Nigeria, you are not going to go far.
Yep.
And speaking from a legal perspective, I've had to sue the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Federal High Court, because Section 16
Then we go. Let's listen,
of
and
the
I'll
Central
show
Bank
you.
Act provides,
Yeah.
or has imposed a duty on the Central Bank to fix and determine the rate of the Naira vis-a-vis other currency. So there is no provision for floating the Naira. No, there's no provision. It's illegal. To say, the value of the Naira will be determined by market forces. That is not there in the law.
It's not an economic principle that they're adopting?
No. Section 20 of the Central Bank Act provides that the only legal tender in Nigeria shall be Section 20, subsection 1, the currency notes issued by the central bank, only the naira. Section 20, subsection 5 provides anybody who spends any other currency in Nigeria without the approval of the central bank has committed an offense and shall be prosecuted. The penalty is 6 months imprisonment. So you have.
So, right. So there we go. Thank you for that framing. So that's San Femi Falana. I mean, what do you say to that statement? And before we read that, let me just get, for those who may be watching us, I want to show them the section that he was quoting. This is a Central Bank of Nigeria statement. Let me just quickly show that to you. Give me a second, my brother. I'll just share that for the people to see on the screen. Now, I want you to pay close attention. He mentioned section 16.
Yes,
which you talked about.
Bank.
Now it is in the Central Bank Act. I'm giving this is the file. This is the PDF for the Central Bank of Nigeria, 2007 Act, and I'm reading it. I just want to refresh the minds of those who may be watching with us. The exchange rate of Nigeria shall be determined from time to time by a suitable mechanism devised by the bank for that purpose. So it backs up what he was saying, that the naira should not be floated. I state that because many people will say, oh, it doesn't know things. And one of the issues, I will read the second one, then I'll mention what I'm trying to say, then I'll let you come back in. 1 second now. So then it talks about, so you can see this on the screen, my brother. Can you, Ayomiku?
I can see it.
Good.
Yes.
So then it goes to section 21. It says, the currency notes issued by the bank shall be legal tender in Nigeria at their face value for the payment of any amount. So that's what it states there. And then he buttresses the point. He now goes to section 25, 4. Is it 4? No. Yeah. Section 25. A person who refuses to accept naira as a means of payment is guilty of an offense and liable for conviction of a fine of 50,000 naira or 6 months imprisonment. You know, so these are clear, unambiguous facts that is stated.
Yes.
Now, in relation to the de-dollarization that we were talking about, now what are your thoughts putting all of that together? Let's, from your perspective, how do you read this?
How do I read this? To me, my own honest fact.
Yeah.
With what Babafemi Falana just said, right? If Nigeria was a country, everybody that has been in that financial department and central bank since 2007 should be in jail right now. You know what? This is the reason I said that.
Okay, yeah. Please, let's.
The dollarization has taken in charge of the entire naira in Nigeria since 1980.
Wow.
Since 1980.
Since 1980.
That is when dollar has dominated the naira. I don't know, maybe you can see this. Permission to show this?
Yeah, please, can you send me, you know what, have you got a screenshot of it? Because I can actually read it, but you can read it to me for the time being.
I'll send you the screenshot as well.
Please do.
I got this online and I just made like a little bit of edit, highlights of just import key points.
Yes.
Like the rest are like just further information.
Okay.
Since 1980, the dollar has dominated the entire naira in Nigerian market
since 1980.
Yes.
Wow.
However,
so even before that's my, you're talking my generation.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. So ladies and gentlemen, are you hearing this? I hope you are all taking heed of what is being said here. But let's hear you carry on. Let's carry on. This is interesting. Go ahead.
On the Central Bank Act of 2007, right? Before, I think I would say before they make that act in 2006, right? The American dollar they're spending the American dollars in hotels, in Nigerian hotels.
In hotels. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So
since
1980.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They have been spending Nigerian dollar in luxury hotel, shopping malls, some supermarkets, nightclubs, party halls, and that party halls. Even though if I'm not aware of the hotel, the shopping mall, the supermarkets, I can categorically tell you that the nightclubs and the party hall, I saw it with my two naked eyes. People spraying $1 notes in Nigeria. That one, I am 100%, I am 2000% sure of that one.
Wow.
Even though if I'm not sure about the shopping mall or the luxury hotel or the supermarket, but the nightclubs and the party hall, that one I am very, very sure about that.
Wow.
Since 2006, it has been there. And they make the Central Bank Act in 2007.
That's correct.
So,
wow.
And this and you know where all the major place that they're spending this dollar? The Federal Capital Territory itself.
In Abuja.
Abuja, Nigeria. It is written here.
So
small
please,
big,
I
small
would like to
cities.
share. I would like to share that paperwork with with as many people as possible.
They said nightclubs, party halls, and expensive breweries in some big cities. What are those type of big cities they're talking about? Lagos, Port Harcourt, and maybe Kaduna. Some big city, Kano, some cities in even though like Kaduna and Kano, they don't really like maybe drink alcohol or all those stuff, but Lagos, Port Harcourt, those major cities like that are big cities, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja in Nigeria.
Wow.
So now that Babafemi Falana is still talking about this dollarization in 2023.
In 2023.
So that means the Naira is actually or just a paper.
It's paper.
It's
worthless paper.
It doesn't have no value, nothing, nowhere. The only place it has value is buying something from a market woman or buying something in Nigeria. That's it.
Wow.
And whenever Nigeria want to get loan from the international community, they get the same loan in dollars.
This is shocking. So since 1980, please, I would like you to share that document with me. Send a screenshot of that document or email, WhatsApp me. Because
on the way.
Yes, because I really need people to. This is an astonishing point here. So when we are talking about, in fact, our economy is literally a basket economy. It's a basket case. So
completely a basket case. And
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe you watched that video from the beginning. When Babafemi Falana, because that same video you played, I have that same video on my phone. Yes. I downloaded it.
Yes.
When Babafemi Falana was talking about mineral resources.
Yes.
That I forgot the exact dates that he talked about, but maybe it's like every year or something like that. 90 billion or 9 billion.
9 billion gold. 9 billion
dollars in gold.
What dollars worth of gold is being looted from Nigeria every year?
Every year.
Yes. So I remember that. Yes.
How many? So every year, that's 365 days. So if they say 9 billion worth of gold.
Billion dollars.
Looted, how much gold is being looted in a day? Because $9 billion.
Yes.
$9 billion.
Yes. So now what you are saying now and what you're showing me is quite what's the word? I am literally lost for words. I am just what you just said now is something that people need to be cognizant of. 1 second, please. Those of you on Facebook, I'm sorry that we are having to stream in this manner because and I will restream it later on. But I wanted you to see what I wanted to get an opportunity to hear my brother here. His name is Ayomiku Daniju.
Okay.
He's in the States, and we had some discussion last week that stemmed from a chance opportunity when we saw both of us were watching Channels News when San Femi Falana, when he came on board. And when San Femi Falana came on board, what he spoke about was about that the dollarization of our economy is actually hampering the citizens. And he said that whatever palliatives that the government gave to the people, the dollarization will simply soak it up, the value of whatever money that the people were given, meaning that it will have zero impact on the lives of the people. So, but going further, thankfully, and this is what I really like about what you just did, Ayomiku Daniju. What you did here was you did some extra research, which we will present to you later on. Have you sent it to me already?
I'm working on it right now.
Okay, that's fine. So he did some research that has actually said that we have been dollarized since 1980. We are going to present that paperwork to you immediately on this broadcast or immediately afterwards. It may even be that is going to be a topic of discussion, further discussion with my brother here, Ayomiku, at another date, because this is a very, very deep, and we're talking about something that is deeply destroying the economy of our nation. It is destroying it as we speak. So those of you watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube right now. Citizen AY. Just type hashtag Citizen AY on YouTube. Go ahead. Please go ahead.
I just sent it to your WhatsApp, sir.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to have because I'm astonished. And this is why I said, you just proved what I was intimating when I said to people that we need to allow the youth to actually be part of this process. It is important. It is imperative. Go ahead.
This is the things that actually like got me, pulled into this so-called Nigeria of a thing, because they will say one thing,
yes,
and when you check it,
it's quite another.
It's completely different. And it is not just completely different.
No,
it is far miles and kilometers away.
So we are being told straight lies by those in government
on a steady, and the way they will present it to the masses, it's like they are forcing the masses to accept that lie.
I am, to be honest, I am stunned. So now, please, I want us to try and take the time to explain to the people what this de-dollarization, what it actually does to the woman to the market woman on the street, to the iyaloja, to the buka owner, to the vulcanizer, to the farmer, to the to the teacher, to the all of them. Let's put in context what this dollarization of Nigerian economy since 1990, what it's actually doing to us. So I wonder if you could talk about that. Thank you.
This dollarization, the impact of this dollarization to the Nigerian economy, it is the reason why the federal government will never increase the minimum wage of Nigerians.
You see that?
That's one.
They will never increase it.
They will never increase it. Nigerians can scream from today till thy kingdom come. That money is not going to leave that. It was 25,000 before. They increased it to 30,000.
Yes.
How many of them are paying that 30,000? I can say like maybe 20%.
Yes. Wow.
Are Nigerians entitled to 30,000?
Of course they're entitled to 30,000, but they're not getting it.
I'm saying in a country that they are the 7th largest in producing crude oil.
Yes.
Is 30,000 should 30,000 is a slave payment.
It is a slave. It is slave.
Like a country that is the number 7th on oil producing.
In fact, from what I heard, it's the 3rd oil producing. In some cases, it's the 3rd oil producing because of the looting of the oil, it's dropped in rating But that looting, we all know, is organized and orchestrated by those in government as well. But carry on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Okay, let's put it to the third largest oil producing country in the world. Now, the third largest oil producing in the world, and the citizens are collecting 30,000 naira as minimum wage.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know. Maybe people are thinking along that line.
Yeah,
that,
no, you makes it perfect sense. You're asking the right question.
What type of sense does that make when I'm the third largest in the world?
Yeah.
And somebody's paying me 30,000 naira as a minimum wage.
It is.
And my senators, my so-called senators representing the so-called power, right?
Yeah.
They are receiving in the millions. Look at the gap. Look at that gap. How are the senators funding themselves?
Yeah.
Why can't that same country fund the Nigerian people? So it is absolutely pure madness when I look at Nigeria. And the only way you can see Nigeria for what Nigeria is looking at it from outside.
Yeah.
To continue my explanation about the questions that you asked, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
The market women, they will every single time they will keep increasing their prices in the market because they need to calculate transportation wise, importation wise, any of them importing from the foreign land, and mostly importation. And Nigeria, this is the problem about Nigeria, and the reason why the economy is crashing. Nigeria is not a producing country.
No, it isn't.
We consume.
We just consume. That's it.
We just consume.
And
so now,
see, that is a very valid point to make right there. And I hope people are really keen in on what you just said. It is not just a small statement. That is a huge statement.
Exactly. Nigeria is we consume. It's a consumption economy. We don't produce. So now, if the dollar has more power than the naira since 1980, and all we do is consume, we don't produce. For us to consume these things, how are we going to get these things into the shores of Nigeria? Through export. Now, if we export these things, we cannot pay the funds of the goods that we export from other countries. We cannot pay those funds with naira. The only way we can pay those funds is what? The dollar.
Yeah.
So now, it's a circle.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a cycle.
Now, so any market women now, there is no way they will be able to sustain their own lives because of the fact that the naira is being destroyed by the use of dollar in our own sovereign area.
Economy, exactly.
Because we are supposed to be a sovereign nation.
A sovereign nation, exactly. So there is no way that the hardship is going to just continue. The frustration will continue. The lack of infrastructure will continue. Lack of good health will continue. The crash of the economy will continue. Everything will continue.
So, in essence, this dollarization, firstly, we now know it is actually illegal according to the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007.
Yes.
And secondly, it is damaging our very economy.
Yes.
And those in government are engaged in this dollarization.
Yes.
Openly in front of all of us.
Yes. Why?
Why?
The reason they are doing that is because the dollar is the only type of currency they can stash away.
Okay. They can stash it away.
They are stashing it away. And the reason why I say they are stashing it away is because if Nigerians think that their politicians are spending 50 billion naira, 33 trillion naira? The answer is no. That is not the actual currency that they are spending. They are taking the dollars in cash, jumping on a private jet, and they are taking away to the West to go stash it.
Wow.
How many Nigerian politicians have a bank account in the United States of America and the United Kingdom? Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. Interesting. I mean,
yes, sir.
I guess we kind of suspected this, but now that we now see that our economy, so this naira is only used to entrap Nigerians. They only are dealing in dollars. That's
what they deal with. That's what they're dealing with. They don't spend. The Nigerian politicians don't spend naira.
They spend dollars, even in Nigeria. So, in effect, is it okay? I guess one could say that Nigeria is the 53rd state of the United States of America then?
Yes. And this is my point. This is to prove that I love going back to history for a reason. Because the fate of the future is stashed in the past.
In the past, yes.
Baba Fela, of great memory, he made one song. He said, when gone, they spend 2,000 naira. Pen go they steal 2 billion naira. No go hear them talk.
No.
In the video, you can see how Nigerian politicians was drinking champagne, Moët, all this expensive wine.
Yeah.
And they are spraying dollars.
Spraying dollars.
When did Barafela made this video? 1970 something.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still happening now.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed.
So there's always a lot of information. Me, I rather look at a picture than a words. Because in a picture, there's a billion secrets in a picture. So there's a lot of secret that is being kept away from Nigerians.
So what I mean, this is, you know what, I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that we have been dollarized since the 1980s. I'm getting and that was my era. That's when I was growing up. You know, in my teenage years. Teenage and kind of early 20s.
Yes.
And what you're saying to me now is that we have been suffering this by successive governments, in effect.
Citizen AY, sir. A little example of this dollarization since 1980 that has been happening. Abacha loot.
Yes.
How much are they recovering?
Oh, billions and billions of dollars. Billions and 700 billion to 500 billion in a UK, in US, in Switzerland, in all over.
Is it 750 billion naira?
No, dollars. Dollars. Not naira, dollars. All dollars.
The governor, Ibori, all the money that they are recovering, is it in 67 or 765 billion naira?
No, it's all in dollars. They all deal in dollars. Now, the thing that I'm really trying to, what is really, the reason for this program is this. Let us try and explain to people. We are not here to castigate any one person.
No.
We're not interested in that. We are only interested in how the economy of, if you tell us that we are one Nigeria, fine.
Yes.
But then we need to have an economy that actually demonstrates that we are a one Nigeria. That is to say that in that economy, your sovereign currency should be the one that's traded. That no other currency should supersede it. And the lack of that exercising of our sovereignty in the use of currency in our land demonstrate that we are not one nation. In fact, we are a slave nation. So that is why we are trying to come and explain this to us all in a manner for us to understand in layman terms that for as long as the federal government of Nigeria refuses to acknowledge that the dollar being used in our land is, first of all, illegal, and secondly, it is doing enormous damage to our economy. We cannot, Nigeria is not, it's just going to be continue to be a slave nation where millions, 200 million people, currently 133 million people are living in starvation. 133 million people are in poverty. Now, because of the government policy of using dollars, and I want to state this, many people need to understand that if you are using dollars in Nigeria, it is destroying our own economy. I wonder if you could explain that a little bit more to the people.
It is destroying our economy, yes. And the reason why it's destroying our economy, the reason why it's destroying the dollar is steadily destroying our economy is because the naira don't have, it will steadily make the naira never have a value. We will not be able to trade or buy anything. Look at us now in the West.
Yes.
I cannot take the Nigerian naira into a British store. But the South Africans can take their currency into a British store and spend it.
On that, in the 80s, you could spend naira in the UK here. I remember that.
In the 80s, yes. In the 80s, yes.
But not now.
No more. It's no more.
Wow.
And that little stoppage right there, it is a total downfall of Nigeria. Automatic. Every economy that is currency cannot be accepted in the global world has failed.
I hope you're all listening. I hope all our listeners, you are of course watching Citizen Wide, the platform where we speak truth to power. We'd like you to help us subscribe if you haven't joined us. I am speaking with Ayomiku Daniju, a very vocal Nigerian youth that has been really online following Citizen Wide for quite some time, and he knows exactly what's going on. And actually, he represents the young generation of Nigerians who want a better nation, or let us actually confront the disintegration if that's not going to work. Now, what he's telling us here are facts that we cannot ignore. Now, for as long as the government is wedded to this dollarization idea, what do you think will continue to happen to Nigerians on ground?
Hunger and starvation.
Hunger and starvation.
Yes. It's sad. It's sad to say, but there's no point of painting it black or white. Hunger and starvation.
With the current government, with their plans of palliatives, bearing in mind what Femi Falana said.
Yes.
If we continue to dollarize whatever we're doing, is it going to impact the lives of the people in a positive way? Will it make a long-term change?
Never. Never. It will never make. It will never, ever, 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 ever make. If you want to give a palliative to people, you don't give them food.
Okay.
Because what the individual, okay, if I call you on a beautiful Monday morning and say, Citizen AY, sir, I'm sorry to inconvenience you, but I don't have no money to feed myself or to buy myself a shoes. I need you to help me. And you say, oh, you say you are hungry, right? I say, yes, sir, I'm hungry. Okay, if you're hungry, I'll send you a loaf of bread and a pack of egg. Did I tell you that I want to eat a loaf of bread and a pack of egg?
No way. No.
I didn't tell you that.
No.
Because maybe I don't want to eat a bread and egg.
No.
But what are you supposed to help me with? Give me some type of fund to go get what I want to eat to satisfy myself.
Yes, indeed.
Now look at Nigerian government. They are giving people a bag of rice.
Yeah. Well,
it's not even a whole bag. It's a tin can. It's a can of milk type of size. Look at what happened in Kwara the other day, or whatever place, somewhere in Kwara there.
Yeah.
And there's like there's different pictures now flying around of just minor election size bags of rice that the government the government of
I know it's laughable. I know you feel perplexed and
the government of the government officials, they are printing their face and their name,
yes,
and calling it for subsidy palliatives.
Is that the solution? Is that the solution?
Never. It's a pure joke. It is a pure joke. The only solution that Nigeria government could have helped Nigerians with their palliative is one thing. All those money that they put towards that palliative, at least if Nigerian government can bring up one Nigerian refinery, just one, give Nigerians some type of steady electricity, even though if it is not 24 hours, maybe every 12 hours a day. They say like, okay, Nigerians, you guys will have light, steady electricity for 12 hours a day. And one refinery is working. Nigeria will not rely on international bodies ever again.
But they don't. That's a very impressive point you make there.
Nigerians will never, because this is one thing I really understand about Nigerians, and it's not just one particular ethnic group.
No,
I'm talking about the entire people that they put together.
yes.
When
Right.
it comes to planning,
Yes.
Nigeria is number one. If they tell a Nigerian man right now that the train is coming in 2 hours, right? A Nigerian man will be in that train station 1 hour 30 minutes before the train even arrives.
Because we're planning. That's true. Because we know what's going to happen if you miss that train.
Exactly. That is one thing I notice about Nigerians. They will be there. Like, look now, when you told me about this, that we need to have this thing by 12 o'clock UK time.
Yes.
I completely forget about the time difference, and I did not calculate it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the corner of my head, I already know that I need to be on a live program with Citizen AY. Me, I thought it's going to be 7 o'clock in the morning, my time. But guess what the time I jumped on the call with you?
Yeah.
At 3:30.
Yes.
It's 4:38 a.m. right here.
Wow. Oh, sorry. I do apologize about that time. Sorry, I thought it was. Oh, of course, you got different time zones in the. It's not just set.
But still, something that's already been established that needs to be done has to be done.
Oh, I hope you're not keeping the kids and family awake. I'm sorry.
No, he's having his beautiful time. I'm in the second room.
Oh, good.
I'm in my I have like 2 rooms in my apartment. I'm in my second room.
Okay.
And my wife, she already know about I'm gonna be having it. I've already set up the little place. So
okay, good.
That is the spirit right there.
And of course, the commitment to this.
That is the commitment.
Cause, yes.
So if Nigerian government can do this, yes.
Now, you see the points you raised there. So the people, that's the thing I really want to really capture, because a lot of things you've had a lot of negatives about the people of Nigeria. They're bad. They're this. They're that. But it is not really. Given the right platform, our people, it doesn't take much for them to flourish from what you're saying. Because once they know that there is a particular routine that would benefit them, they actually respond to that.
They respond to that. Why is Nigerians in general? Why are we making noise in the Western world? Every entertainment right now, Nigerian.
Yes.
Every sport, Nigerian. I was watching CNN yesterday and I saw a Yoruba boy, Temi Dayo. His name was Temi Dayo. And I was like, wait, what? Even in American politics, we are there.
Yeah.
One of the mayor, the new mayor in Colorado Springs, is a Yoruba man.
Interesting. So now that begs the question: why is it that the political classes since 1999 have been hell-bent on impoverishing a clearly wealthy people? Because we have over 40 mineral resources, one of which we talked about earlier on. For example, There are in Nigeria right now.
Yes.
There is a conservative estimate that gold reserves that we have in Nigeria is in excess of 600,000 tons. Mineral reserves in Nigeria. There is gas, the second largest reserves in the entire world in Ondo State and in other places in Nigeria. And of course, you have oil. And not to talk about precious other minerals and so on. Now, you would think that a government that wants a unity of the nation people would make sure that the people benefit from those resources. But from what we are seeing, it is the other way. Talk to us about that a little bit.
It is a mind controlling thing.
Okay.
For them to have their ways, and for them to gain the things that they want to gain, they have to impoverish the people. They have to keep the people in that slavery mentality to be able to control them. Because they know if Nigerians have their foresight and their liberation, the shenanigans that they are doing will not stand.
Interesting.
And that's why you see, like, during the election period, the politician will be your shoe shiner, your haircut barber, your hair salon braider, your toilet cleaner, your best comedian, the best comedian on TV. The politicians will be that. Once the election is over and they get what they need to get, they will be your biggest enemy.
Wow.
And the question you ask yourself is, this man that was very nice to me 6 months ago, what have I done to him? So now, if they are doing something ridiculous, that they are not giving the things that they need to do to the masses, right? They will attach it with something else underneath. And now, instead of the masses blaming the politician, the masses will start blaming themselves. Give him time now. The governance is not that easy. Give him time. It's just 2 months on the power. At least give him like 1 year. Give him 1 year. And they are forgetting that a standard governance is 4 years.
Yeah.
So literally 1 year has been completely wasted. And the rest 3 more years is not even sure.
Wow.
Then they'll come again and do the same gameplay. The reason I'm saying this, since 1999 that you mentioned, when I started okay, understanding, like, all right, okay, this is that. I started like picking pieces together, like, okay, now I'm understanding what, like, in the bigger scale. It has been the same circle. Election time comes, noises everywhere. Election is over, sorrow.
Yeah. It's a vicious cycle. Now, as I'm talking to you now, somebody just sent me put some rates of Naira up. Naira is now against the dollar 1,105 or thereabouts. That is damaging the very people who the government is asking to trust in them, isn't it?
Big time. And the reason I say this, most of Nigerians, now I'll say 40% of Nigerians. Some of them, their children go to school in Ghana, in South Africa, in maybe other African countries, Cote d'Ivoire, or maybe the United Kingdom, United States. For them to make those payments of those school fees, they have to use dollar.
Oh boy! So, of what use if you have to use dollars to make those payments? What use is you saying you are a Nigerian?
Exactly. And now also, a man, a well-known, or even a Southeasterner that has 3 containers that is coming from China or United Kingdom or United States, that has 3 containers, and he needs to bring these containers to Nigeria to sell his goods. For him to make that payment, he's going to pay in dollars to get the shipment.
Okay.
So now, if a dollar to a Naira is 1,000, how many stack of Naira will you put together to fund your to fund your the markets that you just ordered.
It's crazy.
How much? So now a regular market woman in the market that is selling maybe pig milk or other beverages that Nigerian don't produce.
Yeah.
And she needs to have those goods so she can sell.
Sell it, yes.
So now for her to get all those products, she has to use
dollars.
Now, how much naira can she put together that there's no market, there's no sales? No sales.
Yeah.
She's struggling to even sell like maybe 20 can a day. So technically there's no sale. How much naira can she put together that can make up the dollar rate for her to try to do a transaction of her business? It is Nigerians should be on the street right now. What is about to come? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they are psychological blind. But what is about to come?
No. What somebody told me recently, and what they said is that Nigerians have been so oppressed and have been so psychologically controlled to the point that they will take anything they give them. If they give them just they'll only think of now, they're not able to think about 5 months, 6 months, a year from now, and actually factor that into the decision making. Because the government of the day has reduced us collectively into the point of Olorun Shogo, God will do it, and all of that. But the government has the power. They can actually, the solution to this is really, I think, for the government to actually begin to say, no, we're going to start using only naira in the country. And
they won't say.
They won't. I know they won't, but that's the solution.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm looking at, look at the refineries, for example.
Yes.
Because this dollar thing is impacting the refineries. Now, the 4 refineries, there was a report that came that I stumbled upon. The 4 refineries, to fix them will cost only 6.8 billion naira. The Nigerian government, get this, went to Afrexim Bank, an Arab bank. I found out it's an Arab bank, to borrow money. Guess how much they borrowed? They borrowed 2.1 trillion naira, signed by Melekiari, for paying for oil. It's oil for cash. 2.1 trillion naira, not billion. 2.1 trillion naira.
Yes.
For oil for just a 3 months period that they have to pay back. Now, in the context of what I said in terms of the 6.8 billion naira, that would have saved them 1.3 or 1.4 trillion naira straight away.
Yeah.
And we would be able to produce our own oil.
Yes.
Does it not look like the government is insistent on preventing us from actually being, they're actually the ones preventing us from having a manufacturing base?
Absolutely, they are preventing. And furthermore to add to your points that you just made, even if we don't go back too much into the past, since 1999, how much has the government has been spending on fuel subsidy?
Trillions. Again, I asked. There was a report that I saw just in 2021 alone. In 2020, 2021, the government, they sold crude oil, about 695 million naira. So they say. And they imported processed oil. Get this. Hope you're sitting down. Hold on to your chair.
Yes.
11.4 billion naira imported.
11.4 billion was imported. Look at the gap.
So it doesn't. When I'm looking at this, I am looking at those numbers, and they are bewildering. And we know, of course, the 695 they even imported is because somebody said, "Okay, let's put some out." These guys are literally throwing away money belonging to the people to the West.
I mean, when a president, the former president of the country said he's going to be the president, the minister of petroleum, you of course you can automatically tell what is going on. A whole president say, "Oh, I'm going to be the minister of petroleum." Of course, you already know. It's common sense.
Yeah.
It's like me now telling you that, "Hey, citizen AY, I want to be the manager to your account."
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you not going to ask me a question like, what business do we have?
No, exactly.
That you just want to be the manager of my
exactly.
account. So now a president mentioned, "I'm going to be the minister of petroleum," and Nigerians are not thinking along the line that something beautiful is about to happen.
So I mean, what hope is there for the people now? What can the people do? What's your opinion? I have some ideas, but I wanted to just hear what your thoughts are.
Everybody needs to clamor for disintegration. Nigeria can never be solved.
Okay.
Peter Obi cannot solve it. Showore cannot solve it. No, even Jesus Christ cannot solve it. Mohammed, if he wakes up today, he cannot solve it.
Because of this central issue of dollarization of the economy.
The dollarization has hit into the economy. The economy have lost completely balance. The people have lost hope. The system has lost completely, is in completely chaos and shambles. Nothing. Even though if today, if Nigerian government decide like, okay, the entire 4 refineries in Nigeria, we're gonna refurbish it and make it work and start working. A matter of fact, we're gonna build 4 extra refineries more to add to the old 4 to make it 8. And Nigerians start producing their oil, they start refining their oil. How many years is it going to take Nigeria to pay back their foreign debt? Now, after paying their foreign debt, how many years is it going to take Nigeria to fix the entire 36 states? Because Abuja is not the only state in Nigeria. Lagos is not the only one. Yeah. The north is there. The east is there. The West is there.
I had something recently that foreign reserves was apparently somebody was saying was 18 billion. Now they say no, actually it's only 3 billion.
A country of 250 million, and they have a saving of 3 billion.
No. They said initially. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A country of 250 million.
But there is no evidence to back. How did it drop from 18 billion to 3 billion just like that?
Because they are taking out of it. I guess they are taking out of it. But even though, let's even give them the benefit of a doubt. Like, okay, yes, a country of 250 million people, and their total savings
is $3 billion.
How?
It's insane.
How?
So I mean, I don't want to.
You don't need nobody need a master degree for this calculation.
No.
250 million people. And their total savings is 3 billion. How are you going to survive?
You can't. Not with bad governance as it currently is. You can't.
Exactly. So
I mean,
we don't need to do ourselves.
So I guess, I mean, one of the areas, I don't know if you're familiar with what I've been doing on the platform of late. And because our people are powerless psychologically.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've been trying to do is part of the solution. I'm not saying it's the only solution. I'm just saying it's part of the things. Our people have been so conditioned to feel powerless that I think that we need to actually, and the work that is the huge work that needs to be done cannot be done by those of us in diaspora alone. We have there is only very limited, we can have a limited impact on what is on ground by dint of the fact that there are 133 million people living in poverty, and maybe in diaspora there's maybe 20 million of us in diaspora. So you can see that it 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 just it dwarfs the problem. I mean, the problem dwarfs any attempts that the solution we may prefer. Now, one of the things I've been trying to do, and I've been doing this drive, and this drive has been to try and bring to people the awareness of their constitutional rights as laid down within even that constitution. Now we know that in many cases those in power, they always ignore it, but they've only been able to ignore this because for 24 years our people has never exercised those powers within this fraudulent 1999 constitution. Yes, we know they are. I mean, yes, we know the constitution is fraudulent, but there are some powers that we can, if we were to begin to use it, we can maybe hold the government to account. Now, let me just quickly show you this one here, if I can, just to give us a bit of context about, because I am conscious of, we've spoken for over an hour about a lot of problems that we face that flows from this dollarization that is impacting the entire economy, the people, the market women, the farmers, everybody. But I want the people to, in the end, I think it's when people use their collective powers, which is what I'm about to try and go into. And I wanted to try and see what your thoughts are on that. I think you've seen me do this before, but let me just show.
I've seen you spoke about the Nigerian constitution a lot.
Okay,
I've seen it, absolutely.
I mean, it's the thing is, the amount of problem we have, it takes it needs our communal collective effort to address it from one community to the next together, and begin to hold our governance to account. So I wanted to just show you this. Where was it? Share. Okay, so now here it comes. Okay, share that. So now I wanted to just really talk about this from the point of, and by showing this, I wanted to say again, I'm taking this opportunity to talk to citizens, Nigerians everywhere. Yes. By me saying this, it doesn't mean that I believe in one Nigeria, because for as long as you have a nation where you are spending dollars, as and ignoring the law of the Central Bank of Nigeria, that the only legal tenders currency you should have should be the dollar. I cannot support that one Nigeria. I cannot. I can only be, like yourself, be advocating for the disintegration of a nation that clearly has put its own people in a bind, all to continue to use a currency that is actually making the lives of the people a misery. It feeds into the global economy that is actually stripping Africa of our resources. So for that reason, I'm trying to at least let people be empowered to know the powers they possess, to begin to hold their governors to account to such an extent that we may exercise the powers of sovereignty to ultimately call for a referendum collectively in each of the communities. Because I think in the end, that is what needs to happen. I don't think a war is the thing that will solve. A war is not. It's not something we should wish for. Not in Africa.
Not at all.
So let me just read this to you. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Section 14.2a, and many people I'm taking this opportunity to share that. Section 14.2a of the Constitution states. You can see it on the screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Now, in essence, what that means is that the government, many people, and for 24 years, like I said, for 24 years, I don't think people have really understood, or in many cases, they don't even know this part of the constitution because it's not discussed. I have never had anybody, I have never had a president, a Senate president, a senator, House of Rep, to talk about this sovereignty, this particular section, because they know that there are powers within it that if they tell the people, it actually it begins to hold them to account. Because sovereignty, the sovereignty of the people, in the power the government uses, they derive from the people, in essence. So now how they use it is a section 14.2c. The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. And what is this? What is one of the provisions of this constitution? Is the provision is that you are a sovereign, and as a sovereign, you can hold them to account. So what I'm trying to do is to get our people to at least begin to use that power, because there's no point in leaving people hopeless and saying, "Oh, throw your hands up in the air. Oh, that's it." they need, in the end, they need to sign up to this idea of freeing themselves, using these powers from the bondage that they're in, and making them realize that they ultimately, the government is accountable to the people, and we have to begin to monitor them. So I wanted to know, what are your thoughts? How do you see this? Thoughts on this, please?
I mean, it's a brilliant idea, and even though as of right now, it's not gonna yield anything yet, because it's a constant message that has to be synced into their head. But at some point it will start clicking when the economy start ringing that bell of when people start realizing that, okay, we need to do something. Because as a human, if that moment of I need to do something don't get into your head,
yes,
nothing will be done. You will still have hope that, yeah, maybe it's not gonna go that direction. But it's like you're driving a car, and you know that if you don't step on the brakes, the car is gonna fly into the ditch. But you're still like, oh no, maybe it's not. Maybe I can turn my hands to the left, or maybe just straighten my hands a little bit, and the car is not gonna fall into the ditch. And you keep going. Then you got to a point you realize that, wait a minute, this car is definitely gonna go into the ditch. That is the moment when this section of the Constitution will kick into the minds of the Nigerians.
Thank you. And you see, I was hoping that you would give an answer like this, because this is not a quick fix, and I've been, that's the point I've been trying to make. This is not a quick fix. It is an information that, and you said a key word. You said we have to keep reminding them, and that is the point of this exercise in terms of sharing the Constitution in this manner. And by the way, another thing I've actually done it in Yoruba language. It is in Igbo language. Somebody's sending me the Edo language, the Efik language, which I'm going to share, because I want our people, in the end, I've realized that a lot of our people, they believe in the power of the government. They believe the government has any power, but they don't know the constitutional powers, so they can't question them. So hopefully by doing this, we can begin to wake them up in their own local languages. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. And also, before we wrap, you okay? You want to do you want to grab a glass of water to drink or anything? You okay for now?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Now, in terms of the implication of the dollars that these people are holding on to, we've heard about something called the BRICS. Let me see if I can find the BRICS economy and the BRICS dollar and all that stuff.
Yes.
What do you think that will do to all of those dollars that they're holding on, thinking that they are kings forever? What do you think it will do to it when BRICS kick in? BRICS is supposed to kick in November.
Yes.
How do you? Yeah.
The BRICS, the BRICS dollars.
Yeah.
Even though if it kicks in, right, the West will do everything in their power to push it back. So it's going to be a currency war.
It is.
That's what it's going to be. And Nigeria has no say. So Nigeria should not even worry about anything. Nigeria should just sit down and just enjoy the ride, because it's going to be a currency war between the Great Britain, the United States,
and of
facing the BRICS.
Yeah, facing the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Exactly. It's not going to be a military intervention.
No.
It's going to be a currency
war. Okay.
That's what it's going to be.
But what is the implication of that if the dollar loses value? What is the implication for our economy?
Then you will see the revolution that has never happened in Nigeria before. Because now a regular market woman cannot even do anything again.
No.
So you will see that is where my fear is. I mean, I've already foreseen that's what's gonna. I'm sorry to say, and I don't mean to I don't mean to be negative,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a person that live in a reality. I
Yeah.
don't like to deceive
No.
myself.
No.
What you just said right now,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm just saying right now, that is what is going to end up happening to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nigeria did not trigger it,
No.
but the power sitting on Nigeria triggered it.
Yes. The word you said, the power sitting on Nigeria. That's very
Yeah,
interesting. What powers are sitting on Nigeria?
the West.
Okay.
Look at it's a big example right now. Look at the coup that happened in Niger.
Thank you.
Who's pushing ECOWAS?
France. France is
That's
pushing ECOWAS.
one of the power. Now the United States,
Mm-hmm.
they are not standing in the they're not standing in the forefront,
Mm.
but under the ground, that's the way of the United States.
Ooh.
You know that is one thing I love about this country. It's under the ground.
Okay.
Under the ground, so shall you find us.
Okay. So they're doing everything covertly behind the scenes
Under the ground, so shall you
with the
find us.
French. But
Yep.
what is this I hear about? Just touching on Niger. What should Nigeria do? In terms of
Back
Niger,
away.
back away.
Back away. It is none of Nigeria's business.
Even
Back
though
away.
we've heard about that the gas pipeline that they signed in under Buhari government, they signed a gas pipeline that's going to go from Nigeria to to Nigeria through to Spain to give gas to the to Europe. Again, if you look at that, it means that our resources yet again being taken at peanuts to give to those who don't have it.
And the people of the Niger Delta, they will still never benefit nothing.
Well, this is they won't. Yeah.
And they are the real owners of the God-given wealth
Of the oil. The gas is Ondo State as well. In fact, Ondo has oil and gas and other places. But you're right, Niger Delta has a lot of oil as well. You're right. Yes.
That is the ESA. When they discuss about oil in Nigeria, they don't mention Ondo State.
No.
South.
Yeah.
South.
Yeah.
That every international body, South is the only thing they know. South.
But
South,
the people have been impoverished by this governance.
Since 1999 that I've been exposed to like a little more of that kind of like more into Nigeria and like what's going on. I have never heard a white man mention Ondo State.
No.
Or Ibadan.
Yes.
Or whatever. Any little thing. Where's the best place to get a crude oil in Nigeria? South. South. All of them, South. And that South is nothing to write home about.
No. Because it's been impoverished continuously.
Completely impoverished. Even though the South, crude oil is not even like the only thing that they love to do. They love fishing.
Yeah.
They can create wealth with their fishing. But what has the crude oil done to their fish?
It's destroyed it because they polluted the water and everything else, and I mean apparently there's fumes and everything else in the air that is really acrid. And
with the good riverine area that they have, they can easily plant rice and grow a beautiful, solid, healthy rice. Can they do that?
No, not now.
No more. So it's
my goodness.
Nigeria is going to get to a point that the people, the economy and Nigerian, the name Nigeria alone will push people to the wall so much that the people have no more space to contend themselves
back against Nigeria,
and it's going to explode. It's going to explode. That's why leaders and good mind thinking individuals like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Oloye Sunday Igboho, Sowore, even though if he believes in one Nigeria, but the revolutionary mind of Sowore can never be debated.
No.
He knows what's going on. All these individuals, whenever I listen to them, that is where they are going to. But Shawara is an individual that believes that maybe the car can still turn. You know,
Yeah.
Shawara is an individual that believes that maybe we can still turn the car to the
Yeah.
left
I,
instead
I
of
don't
jumping.
can we I don't know if Nigeria is salvageable. I mean I don't want to be I
Yeah,
don't know if it's
but
salvageable, to be honest.
it's impossible. It's impossible. Nigeria cannot be fixed. That's why me as an individual, I've given up my mind. The only solution to Nigeria is a total disintegration.
But like you said, it is not going
Yeah.
to be something that happens very quickly. It's not
It
going
is
to
not.
be.
It is not. It is not. And that is what I need people that also believe in disintegration of Nigeria to have. That disintegration of Nigeria is not going to come in the next 10 years.
Okay.
The next 10 years, it is not. It is not going to happen in the next 10 years.
Okay, so you think it's going to be a gradual? It will just be a gradual process that is just, you know.
I've already, me as an individual, I've started seeing the signs.
Okay.
I've started seeing the signs little by little, little by little. When a specific event that should not be happening in the country starts happening, it's a flashpoint towards the final impact that is about to hit the country.
Yeah.
And these events are gradually taking shape. Perfect example for what I'm trying to say. The youth. I'll use my generation as an example.
Yes, please do. Please do.
The youth.
Yeah.
We have tested our power. And we've seen what our power can cost.
Yeah.
We've seen the forces that our power can pull out. And what is the power that what is the event that I'm talking about? October 20th, 2020.
NSAS.
A lot of people might just look at NSAS like end police brutality. That's one part. But also in that NSAS, Nigerian youth are clamoring for end bad government and corruption. A lot of people are not focusing on that key point. Now, Nigerian youth they already clamored for end bad government and corruption in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? And the Nigerian government turned their barrels.
Yeah, they did. Sadly.
Against the youth. Not just against the youth.
Yeah.
But against the youth. Singing.
Yeah.
The Nigerian national honor. Yeah. The national honor of the country. Holding the cloth.
Yeah.
Holding the cloth of a country, which is the Nigerian flag.
Yeah.
And you gun them down.
Yeah.
If Nigerian government thinks that Nigerian youth are forgotten, they are deceiving themselves.
Exactly.
The revolution that is going to come. Omoyele Sowore said, when the Nigerian revolution starts, it will not be televised. You think he doesn't know what he's saying?
Yeah.
It will not be televised. Why did he say it will not be televised?
Indeed.
Nigerian government thinks that the revolution will start from the street of Lagos or the street of Abuja. That's a lie. The revolution will start from some local place that there is no even internet. That maybe the last time that they saw electricity was like 6 months ago. That is where the revolution will start from. Now, when the revolution starts from there, the loved ones of those people will be the one that will broadcast it. But the revolution have already started without being televised.
That's true. Indeed.
So Nigeria is sitting on the gun. They are sitting on the pressure cooker.
It is.
It's going to explode. It's going to explode. But like it is just a matter of time. If this thing continues the way it's continuing, Nigeria cannot escape it. Nigeria cannot escape it.
I wanted to touch on something. I don't know if you've seen this young man here. Let me bring a picture of him up. 1 second. I wanted to touch on him because it's something that is of concern. Let me. Where is it? Okay, share. Yeah. So this young man here.
Oh yes.
Tanyolong.
Yes.
I've been doing one or two programs, and I've read something. Something came up the other day, which I'm actually going to try and read on air now.
Yes.
They've jailed him. Now this is
Yes.
this is the rap sheet. This is what they put up against him to say he did. So we're gonna read through that, and then we can talk about, hear your thoughts on it. I mean, firstly, in terms of religious intolerance in that country, I mean, it amazes me that our governance are just they're using it. Is obvious from what I can see. It feels like it's being used as a political game. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I can, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I think it makes.
Absolutely.
So let me quickly do something here. Let me put that. I want to read this other one. So stop share. I'm going to read the what they accused him of, because
Yes.
it says here. So I'm going into it now. So it says here,
Yes.
nature of criminal offense: conspiracy, insulting or exciting. I think they mean inciting.
Mm-hmm.
Contempt of religious creed. Criminal defamation, inciting disturbance contrary to section 97, 2110, 392, and 114 of the Penal Code law. And it says here, on the 3rd of August 2023 at about 1 hour, 1 o'clock, the above captioned case was reported to the Commissioner of Police, Kwara State, State Command, through a letter of petition written by Association of Fraud Sons and Daughters of Ilorin Emirate. Is it? Oh, Proud Sons and Daughters of Ilorin Emirate, Ilorin, Kwara State, against you, Adegbola Abdulaziz Talolong, male of 19 of something days. I can't see that properly. Is that days?
Hey,
Male of number 53,
yes.
Adeyemo Layout, Malete, Ibadan, Oyo State, for the discreet investigation that sometime lately in the month of July 2023, the attention of the president Alhaji Muritala Abdul Karim Baba Barigo and other members was drawn to the videos on your YouTube channel that was posted by Adegbola Abdulaziz Talong, wherein you blasphemed Islam religion, burnt Quran, defamed some Islamic scholars in Ilorin, that you specifically mentioned Alfa Ahmed, Labib Agbaji, Alfo Abdulazim Baba, Tonile Okuta Agidi, that his father, late Muhammad Lawal Okutagidi, was an idol worshipper, fake cleric, and has shrine in Ilorin. You also defamed the Imam of Ofa, Alhaji Muhyiddin Salman Hussein, that they stated that you are threatening to cause war in Ilorin and its environ by sending different write-up on your people on social media, inviting other traditional and idol worshippers. Stop calling us idol worshippers, to assemble in Ilorin on 20th of August 2023. Investigation conducted at the surveillance section of the State Criminal Investigation Department, SCID, Ilorin, revealed that you, Adegbola Abdulaziz Taolong, a male of number 53, Adeyemo Layout, Malete, Ibadan, Oyo State, criminally conspired together with others at large to insult Islamic religion, defame the character of Alpha Ahmed,
Yeah.
Labib Agbaji, Alpha Abdusalam, and so on, and something else. Baba Tonile Okuta Agidi, Chief Imam of Ofa, Alhaji Muhyiddin Salman Hussein. I'm looking at this. I'm just going to stop reading. It sounds like it's like a frame up to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you? It sounds like a frame up. It's like it's someone who just decided to write something. It sounds like a frame up to me. How do you see
Yeah.
it?
I was reading alongside you, and I was just looking at it. It is pure jargon.
Yeah.
it is just pure jargons, because they saying he burnt the Quran
Mm-hmm.
and is insulting some Afars,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he threatened to cause a war
Yeah.
in Iran.
Yeah.
My question to the judge or whoever that the lawyers or whatever they are,
Mm-hmm.
is it Talon was it Talon? Is Talon the first person to burn the Quran in that same Nigeria?
Exactly.
And even though Talon is a traditionalist, right?
Yeah.
How many times that I've seen with my own naked eyes,
Mm-hmm.
the Afars
Mm-hmm.
burning a cloth
Yeah.
of a masquerade.
You see? You see?
Did
That
they
is a
arrest any of the
very
Afar?
that's a very
No.
important point you just made there. That's a very
That
important point just made
me,
right there.
I've seen it with my own two naked eyes. It's not like somebody told me.
Wow, that's very
Did,
interesting point you raised there. Actually, I
did
didn't
they
know anything about
arrest?
that.
Did they arrest the Afars?
No.
No. And this is going to bring me to my point of the one thing that I hate the most in Nigeria is religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the only thing that I hate the most. Religion has destroyed Nigeria so bad that the people themselves, their mind, their brain is completely gone.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you try to tell them, they will start attacking you. That why are you assaulting their own God?
But they can disregard.
Likewise them themselves. They don't even know the God that they serve.
Interesting. What I wanted to also say, let me stop and share this. You see, all that penal code stuff they talked about. This is why this again exemplifies why I'm insistent that we know about the Constitution, because there's a section. There are 3 key sections of the Constitution that I'm going to share with you now. And let me bring the picture up. And we continue to ask for Daniel Long to be freed. He has to be freed because he's not done nothing wrong according to the Constitution. Now let us quickly go and let me bring that and share that with you. Yes, go ahead.
I think for me, right, they gave Daniel Long 50 days, right?
Yes.
I think Daniel Long, right, should serve that 50 days. You know why I said that? Good mind and like mind Nigerians of today. It is already written down in our book that because of blaspheming and burning the Quran, Daniel Long spent 50 days in prison. Now I'm waiting to the glorious day that one Afa will make a mistake.
Yeah, but you see, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say, because once he's done that, then it sets a precedence that if they do the same thing to the Sheshe or to Babalawo, then they have to do the same. You're right.
Everything that is going to disintegrate, everything that will disintegrate Nigeria is what I support. This right here is another energy to disintegrate Nigeria.
You know, I haven't thought about it from that point of view. I haven't thought from the point of view you just said now, because I hadn't, up until this point, I've actually just thought, okay, the Quran. But how many times has the Afars, and people who are watching, please, has this happened in your area? The Afars have gone down to Onitsha, they've destroyed their stuff, they've burnt it, and all of that. Has any of the Afars been prosecuted? This is a very important point you raise. Very important point.
So now, the Onishashes too, they will have it in record that you imprison one of us because of burning Quran, and we have so many record of what you have done. We didn't say anything. Okay, now do it again. Do it again.
Because now
they will now understand who is the true owner of the land.
Okay.
Maybe it's Islam, or maybe it's the Sheshe.
Okay. Now, I mean, there's no doubt for me that we as Yoruba people, the land of Ilorin belongs to Yoruba people. There's no debate
Yeah.
about that.
No
And in
debate.
fact, the name Ilorin is where you press iron. It's what it
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
Where you press iron. So that says it's a Yoruba land. No debate.
Yeah.
But even more than that, I wanted to show you something within the constitution, and I want us all to really be able to have that to hand in future, because it is it hopefully it will make things, and I'm hoping that to solve the problem long term, obviously, I mean in the at least short to middle term, to solve the problem of the Muslims. I happen to think the Muslim faith don't even know this constitution. That's my strongly held view. Let me first stop sharing this thing. It's not going to let me. Where is it? Sorry, 1 second. There is something I just shared now, but it's not coming up for some reason. Okay, so let me stop this one. Take that one away, and let's see if that comes up, because I just want us all to be able to see it. But and thank you very much for staying this long with us on this topic.
No,
But
no problem.
we would no doubt we are definitely going to be having more shows, and I want us to be able to talk about this from a different different point of view, because I really believe that having the youthful experience and insight in our discussions, because sometimes I talk about it from my knowledge of being the father and all that stuff, and over 50 and all of that stuff, whereas you need somebody younger to be able to have a perspective that we can align to. And you can see you've mentioned two key things. This one about the affairs, the burning the sheshes and nothing happening to them. That is something we need to address. So, but before we go too far into that, before we go further going further, there are sections of the Constitution that I want everybody to know, and I want the Muslim people, the Isheshe, and the Christians to be aware. Section 3 of the Constitution actually says something. It says, if any law is inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution, this Constitution shall prevail, and that other law shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. What does that mean? It means that the Constitution of Nigeria is supreme, even above Islamic laws in the Constitution. And that is the point I really want us all to really understand, that yes, you can practice your religion. Yes, you can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Shishi, but the law of the land must be respected by all those religions. And that is the point that many people are not aware of, that there's actually something in the Constitution that states that. So that's why I'm saying the need for us to, that's why I keep talking about the need to, I don't support Nigeria. Please don't misunderstand me, I don't. Nigeria is not working. But whilst it's still in existence, we need to know the powers that we can use to hold people to account who are, clearly breaking the law. In this case, what the Muslims are doing. So now that is the only purpose why I'm sharing this, because a lot of people seem to think I believe in Nigeria. I don't, because it's not working. The evidence, the fact that all of us are abroad, are having to send money home, shows that Nigeria is not working. So why should I support something that's not working? But all I'm trying to do is for those who are back home right now to be able to exercise those powers, to actually remind those in power, look, this is what it says in your constitution, in your fraudulent constitution. You need to abide by it as well, and give the people the voice. So that's section 1.3. Section 10 of the constitution now goes to say, the government of the federation or of a state shall not adopt any religion as state religion. So that is clear. So the people, those imams who are talking about making references about blaspheming my religion and all of that, there's nothing in the constitution that supports them in that manner. Nothing. Right. The constitution does not say anything to do with a religion must be a state religion, because they were going to the Isheshes and say, we will not allow you to have your Isheshe celebrations in any area of Ilorin, because it is a Muslim state. So this is why I'm trying to get people to really use this section 33, section 3, section 1, section 3, section 10, to make people understand that we have to tell the Muslims, go and read section 1.3, section 10, section 33.1, to understand that your religion is not supreme. You cannot impose your religion on us in it's a secular nation according to the constitution. So, and then the third part of it is, of course, it says 33:1, every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which has been found guilty in Nigeria. So, when they now take him to court and say he burned the Quran, that is actually not a criminal offense. It is not a criminal offense. It is a religious issue that they do not need to involve the state in.
Exactly.
They do not need to, because the constitution does not actually state you cannot. It doesn't state that. Now, the fact if he buys something and he burns it, that is his own wish. That is not in the constitution. So these are things that I want people to really take on board. And also, I noticed that when the state, all of the police commissioners, they are not aware of this. I've seen the new police commissioner for Ilorin, Adelisi. Sorry? Kwara State. Adelisi. She was talking about, she was doing conflict resolution, which is great. But no mention was made of these laws. And I think one of the things I was wondering, I think that the police commissioner should make these key sections aware to their police officers, so that when they're going to deal with religious disputes, this will be the first point of call to nullify any argument, on both sides. I wonder what your thoughts are on it anyway, just as in passing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, sir. First of all, like the commissioner, the commissioner, the female commissioner of Kwara State,
yes,
she's very, very biased in the judgment that she made.
Okay.
And that just shows the level of, the people leading the so-called masses of the community.
Yeah.
When a commissioner of police don't even know what the Constitution of the Federal Republic says, is a problem. How did she become a commissioner? That she don't know what a constitution says. That a group of people, judgment is what she takes. Because to me, with all these Tanya Law issue things that happen, it actually brings my mindset to even start thinking hardcore, right? Because it's already kind of like looming around my head. But with all this Tanya Law issue thing that is coming up, made me even like start thinking hardcore about the Islamization of Nigeria. Because if a specific religion goes to the Isheshe and tell them they cannot worship at a water, at a river, that Ilorin is an Islamic land.
Exactly.
And a couple of weeks later, after like tensions building, they went to the Inspector General of Police in Ilorin, in Kwara State, and she favors the Muslims, the Islam. She favors them, and a couple of weeks down the line again, Anyolong is in court for so-called blaspheming and burning the Quran. 3 events. One favor.
Exactly. Yeah, you make a very valid point. You make a very valid point there, actually.
3 events, 1 favor. And when we clearly know that the Alfas going to the Isheshe and telling them that they cannot worship in that river violated the Constitution.
It did.
That's one.
It did. Exactly. They should be arrested for that. In
Number
fact,
2.
That's a very good point. They should be
Number
arrested
2,
for violating them.
That's a violation.
That's a violation right there, and I've got the video of them.
They should
be arrested.
That is the what is it? That's one violation right there.
Yeah, because in fact that section 10 is very applicable to that.
Supports it.
Section 10 supports it. Thank you for raising this point.
Section 10 supports that.
Yes.
Number 2, the Inspector General of Police favoring one side Section 10 also supports it.
Yeah.
Because Inspector General of Police is representing the state.
Yes.
And it says right here, the government of the federation of a state shall not adopt any religion as a state religion. Favoring the Muslims right there, she has adopted Islam as a state religion.
There you go.
That's number 2 violation.
Interesting. Very
number
interesting.
Number 3 violation. Because of the Quran that was born and blaspheming, Daniel Long is spending 50 days in jail. Another violation of the Constitution.
Yes.
What is the violation? 33(1).
Yes. Every person has a right to life. Yes. Wow. You know what? This is something we need to look into closely.
3 violations.
Yes. It's true.
So
very true.
This Daniel Long issue actually made me now believe that the Islamization of Nigeria is on the horizon.
It is, but we mustn't allow it to happen. We mustn't. We have to. This is why we're doing programs like this to raise awareness and to share different views. Because I'm really grateful for your really insightful thoughts about this. Because when you talked about for the first time, I didn't even think about it. The fact that they stopped them from going to the river actually breaks the law. The fact that they've burned with times without number Isheshe buildings or shrines or whatever, they've destroyed it, is actually going against that religion.
Yeah.
Which is what they are claiming, that by burning the Bible. That's wrong. And it's not in the Constitution. If they're going so you're right in a way. I hope that I want to see Taniolon released, because it is not fair. But I can see
it is not fair. But Nigeria as a system that is, we can keep look at Omoyele Sowore and Barrister and SCN Falana.
Yes.
That just spoke like what, 5 minutes video.
Yes.
Look at how they are criticizing them left and right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at how they're criticizing them left and right. And these are figures. These are public figures.
Yes, indeed.
Former presidential candidate. And a senior advocate of Nigeria that have gotten numerous awards in international stage as well. Getting violated because of you see?
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
It is.
That's why I'm saying that, I send the wish of our ancestors to Tanya Long.
Yes.
Died and protect him in there.
Yes.
It's just 50 days. But Tanya Long went into that prison as a local man.
Yes.
But he's coming out as an international hero. So thank you to the Islamic community. For upgrading Tanya Long from nothing to from grass to grace.
Yes.
Because now international communities like our fellow Isheshe worshippers in Brazil, Cuba, all the other countries, they will hear this news and they will say, wait a minute, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's true. Very, very
and they'll true. start making steps.
Okay.
To try to look for a way to make changes. Because a lot of people, this is one thing a lot of people don't know. They look at the internet. The internet is a very small community with a wide range.
Yes.
If it did not get to you today, this year, it will get to you in like maybe 7 years down the line. Because there are some videos that I've seen on internet that it says 7 years ago. But when it was recorded, I didn't even know about it.
Exactly.
But in 2023, I saw it.
Yes.
At the time said 7 years ago.
Yes. My brother, that is incredible. I honestly, that this is, in fact, this on this particular issue, we will be coming back to this point as well. But the thing is, the analysis that you, and I want to thank you for the work you did in doing the research about the dollar, and the fact that on this show we found out that it has been like that since 1980. And there was some paperwork that you shared, which I'm probably going to share. I'll read a few lines of what you sent to me Just so in closing, before we wrap up, I can
Yes, sir.
stop this. So of course, we continue to ask for Tani Olong to be released. So free Tani Olong
Absolutely.
is something that
Absolutely. Free time alone. Yes,
it must be free.
absolutely.
So let's make that our hashtag. Those of you watching
Absolutely.
us, free Tani
Yes.
Olong. He's done nothing wrong. And as you can
Right.
see on the laws that we print next to him there, the Islamic scholars are the ones very much in the wrong, and we need
Yes.
to voice out and support Tani Olong as much as we possibly can, and we will not relent. So
Yes.
thank you very much for that. So let's do something more. I wanted to just read the section of what you sent earlier on, because our time is up now. But I wanted to read
Yes.
out. You said the keywords. Since the 1980s, the US dollar has been increasingly usurping the legal role of the naira as the medium of exchange within Nigerian markets as foreign exchange, savings, and commodities. In addition, there is an economic law that explains why US dollar and other financial convertible currencies of the West can thus encroach quite vicariously in the domestic turf of the naira in Nigeria. It is called dollarization theorem. Dollarization in Nigeria is a situation which occurs when the residents use foreign currencies, US dollar, along their own domestic currency. This, I'll read more anyway, I'll share it. But you see,
Yes.
in that point right there, many of the people at home are not aware of it.
They are not. They are
They're
not
not
aware of
aware.
it. They're not.
And that is why that's why we're doing shows like this. I've been saying on my show, that I'm telling people now that when you spend dollar in Nigeria, you are actually hurting your own economy and indeed yourself in the long run. You may not realize it.
According to since 1980, right?
Yes.
They said the dollar and the naira have been on the side.
On
Now,
yes.
side to side. Now, look at the thing that in 2023,
Yes.
the naira had gone
down and the dollar is up.
and the dollar is up.
Very interesting. Yeah. No. Listen, it's been such a pleasure, Ayomiku, and I'm so grateful. You got up in the morning at 4:38 for this broadcast. I'm really sorry. I misunderstand about the time zones, but I'm really grateful for the time and the insight that you've given us here. And I hope many others will watch and share this video. I've sent you the link for you to share with your friends and family as well. And no doubt you are coming back on the show. We're going to be doing more discussions at a more suitable time, I assure you.
No problem.
But I want to thank you. Before you go, let me just make sure that others go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. How do you do that? Let me just show you how you do that. 1 second. You just stay right there. 1 second. So go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. Subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. That way, you can see the programs. So it is on there for us all, and I'm really grateful for those of you who have watched and those of you who will watch later on. We really need you all to help us grow the platform. We're trying to get the platform growing on YouTube. As you know, we have the Citizen AY on Facebook. On Facebook, however, with over 120,000 followers, Facebook have reduced our number of people who are able to see us when we come live to literally 11 people. So you can see that we need many of you who are on Citizen AY Facebook to please join us on YouTube. Over 120,000 followers on Facebook. We'd like you to go ahead and join us on YouTube. That way, we can continue giving really quality programs and bringing intelligent discussions about the way forward for the people of Yoruba extraction, Biafran, Middle Belt, and obviously Nigeria, looking at the real fundamental issues and the long-lasting solutions that we prefer on our programs. But I want to just say, I want to thank each and every one of you who have watched, who have followed the broadcast. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Hit the notification button, give us thumbs up. Share this broadcast if it resonates with you. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I've been speaking with Ayomiku Daniju, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a real fun time. And what I'd next for me now to say is to say thank you very much to you all for watching. We'll be back later on with more other further updates in due course. Thank you so much. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Before we go, what we'd like you all to do is to do what? Keep it locked on. Citizen AY. Citizen AY. There you go. Keep it locked. Okay. Thank you, and bye for now. Bye.